You put on your foundation in the morning and it looks fine. An hour later, it's sitting in every fine line around your eyes. By lunch, it's cracking into the creases around your nose and mouth. Your skin looks older than it did before you started. So you buy another foundation thinking this one will be different. Same thing happens again. But Korean makeup artists have been solving this for years. They'll tell you the foundation was never the issue. It comes down to 5 routine mistakes. Most of them happen before foundation even touches your skin. Before we get into those, one thing to keep in mind. Cakey makeup doesn't come from having too many steps. It comes from using too much product at each step. Every layer stacks on the last one. When they stack too thick, your base looks heavy and fake. This matters even more after 40. Mature skin is thinner and drier. Every extra layer shows up more. That idea applies to everything that follows. Mistake number 1. Too much skincare before your makeup even starts. After 40, your skin changes. It makes less oil. It loses moisture faster. It doesn't shed dead skin the way it used to. So the instinct is to pile on more creams, more serums, more of everything. But heavier skincare doesn't mean better skin for makeup. It means a greasy surface that foundation slides right off. Korean beauty pros keep it simple. 2 products before makeup, a toner and a moisturizer matched to your skin type. If your skin still gets oily in the T-zone, use a light toner and a fast-absorbing moisturizer. For combo skin, use a hydrating toner and a richer cream on the dry patches. Dry skin, which is very common after 40, needs a heavier cream with real weight. And if your skin gets very dry or flaky, especially with hormonal changes, layer the toner 2 or 3 times before the moisturizer. That gives deeper hydration without adding extra products. If you deal with flaking around the forehead, nose, or laugh lines, try this before makeup. Take a richer moisturizer and rub it into those spots in small circles for about a minute. Then wet a cotton pad with toner and gently wipe away the loose dead skin. Mature skin holds onto dead cells longer. This simple step clears the rough patches that make foundation crack. After that, wait 5 to 10 minutes for everything to soak in. Touch your cheek. It should feel plump with a slight stickiness. Not wet, not slippery. That stickiness is what helps foundation hold on. For mature skin, this step is worth the wait. But good skincare prep is only half the battle. The step right after it is where most pilling and sliding starts. And it's worse on drier, mature skin. Mistake number 2, rushing through sunscreen and messing up the surface for everything that goes on top. Sunscreen is the last skincare step in the first makeup step. After 40, sun damage already shows as dark spots and uneven tone. So proper sunscreen matters more than ever. But it's also the step that gets rushed the most. Your skincare has to be fully soaked in and dry to the touch before sunscreen goes on. On mature skin, this can take a few extra minutes. If the layers aren't set, they fight each other on the surface. That's where pilling comes from. The right amount is 2 lines squeezed across your pointer and middle fingers. Use the first half and pat it gently across your whole face in one direction. Don't rub, don't go in circles. Be extra gentle near the eyes where the skin is thinnest. For thicker sunscreen formulas, tap it in with light pressing motions. Then take the second half and add it to the nose, cheeks, and oily zones where your base breaks down first. Don't skip the mouth corners, your hairline, or the jawline. Then wait again. 3 to 10 minutes for the sunscreen to set. This one step is the difference between a base that lasts all day and one that's sliding by mid-morning. Now, skincare is set, sunscreen is dry, the canvas should be ready, but there's one more step that trips people up. For mature skin, it can either smooth your fine lines or make them look worse. It all depends on how you use it. Mistake number 3. Putting primer on like a second moisturizer instead of a spot treatment. Primer is optional. But for mature skin with visible pores or fine lines, the right primer in the right spot can really help. The mistake is squeezing out a pump and spreading it over your whole face like lotion. That just adds another thick layer. It pills. It sits in your lines, and it makes fine lines more obvious, not less. Think of your face as different zones. If the T-zone gets oily, put oil control primer only on the forehead, nose, and chin. If fine lines show around the eyes and mouth, put a hydrating primer there. That keeps foundation from cracking in those creases. If pores are visible near the nose, a silicone primer smoothed along the pore direction fills them gently. If your skin is mostly dry, which is true for most women over 40, a hydrating primer on the cheeks and mouth area helps. It stops foundation from clinging to dry patches. It also stops it from making texture look worse. And if your skin is already well prepped, skip primer. every layer you add can settle into lines later. Keep it thin. One direction. Light touch. Mature skin needs care, not pressure. Those are the three pre-foundation mistakes. Fix all three, and your canvas is ready. But the step that makes the biggest difference for mature skin is the actual foundation. And this is where the right product matters just as much as the right method. Mistake number 4. The way you put on foundation is creating the exact lines you're trying to hide. Two habits cause the most trouble: pumping foundation right onto the face, or loading up a sponge and pressing it straight on. Both make it hard to control how much you're using. On mature skin, too much product settles into every fine line and crease within the first hour. What started as coverage turns into a map of every line on your face. Put foundation on the back of your hand first. Use your fingertips to dab it onto your face in sections, one area at a time. Most formulas start drying within seconds. If you put it everywhere first and blend later, the spots you reached last are already patchy. Pressing harder to fix them just pushes product around. For the cheeks, dab from the outer corner of the eye toward the mouth. Start thin near the center and blend out. Each dab should be light. On mature skin, less product per spot means less settling into lines later. Then take a damp sponge, fully soaked and squeezed out, and pat the foundation in with a bouncing motion. Don't drag, don't swipe. For the forehead and nose where pores are bigger, swipe a thin layer downward against the pore direction. On the nose sides, dab in small circles. Now here's where the product itself starts to matter. After 40, two things go wrong with most foundations. They turn darker or go orange within an hour or two, and they sink into fine lines, settling into every crease. That actually makes wrinkles look deeper than they are on bare skin. No amount of good technique fixes a formula that works against mature skin. One foundation that handles both of those problems well is the Luxe Color Changing Foundation. It reads your skin tone and matches it as it dries. No color shift by afternoon. And it sits on the surface instead of sinking into lines the way most liquid foundations do. For mature skin, that difference is night and day. I found it cheaper on Amazon, so I'll leave that link in the description below. It's also their #1 bestseller in foundation, which honestly makes sense once you try it. One more thing here. Where concealer goes depends on the blemish. Larger dark areas like circles, redness, or age spots get a thin layer of concealer before foundation. This covers the color, so you need less foundation on top. That keeps the base thinner on mature skin, where every layer shows. Dab it on and blend the edges only. Leave the center alone. Small spots like pimples or scars get concealer after foundation. Dab a small amount right on the spot. Let it sit for 30 seconds. Then blend just the edges with a small brush. Don't touch the center. The goal is always the thinnest layer that still evens the tone. Your base is on, blemishes are handled, everything looks good in the mirror. But without the right setting step, all that work falls apart in the first hour. And on mature skin, the wrong setting method can add years in seconds. Mistake number 5. Setting your base in a way that makes every fine line look deeper. This is where mature skin needs a different approach. Heavy powder pressed into the face grabs onto every line, every dry patch, every bit of texture. It turns a smooth base into something chalky and aged. For skin over 40, less powder and lighter touch is everything. If you have oily spots that need powder, use a puff, but go easy. Tap it lightly into the powder. Fold it in half and rub the sides together to spread the product evenly. Tap off the extra. Then press gently onto just the oily zones, the T-zone and around the nose. Keep powder away from the under eyes, the smile lines, and anywhere fine lines are showing. For dry, mature skin, a fluffy brush works better. It gives a lighter finish that won't grab onto texture. Press the brush into the powder, swirl it, rub it against your palm twice, and tap it on lightly. Never sweep or rub back and forth. That drags off your concealer and pushes dry powder into wet foundation. It creates the exact patchy look you're trying to avoid. For mature skin, setting spray is often better than powder. Hold the bottle 6 to 8 inches away. Spray in an X shape first, then a T across the center. The mist locks your base without adding any dry product that could sit in your lines. Let it air dry. Don't touch it. For all-day wear, try the sandwich method. After skincare and primer, mist with setting spray. Put on foundation and concealer. Mist again and let it set. Light powder on oily spots only. Then one final spray. That layered seal holds for hours. No cracking, no sliding, no settling into lines, even on mature skin. So let's come back to where we started. Your foundation was cracking into your lines by lunch. You kept blaming the product. But the product was never the problem. It was the routine around it. Too much skincare on the surface, sunscreen that didn't have time to set, primer spread everywhere instead of placed where it was needed, foundation put on too thick in spots where mature skin can't handle it, and setting done in a way that made every line look deeper. Fix those 5 things and your base will look different right away. Smoother, lighter, more like your own skin with the lines quietly blurred instead of highlighted. That's the finish Korean makeup artists go for with women over 40. Not a mask, just your skin at its best, holding from morning to night. Try these steps on your next makeup day. Come back and tell me which mistake was the one aging your base. These videos always turn up a step nobody thought about. If you want more Korean beauty tips for mature skin like this, subscribe. New ones every week.